Hello and welcome to Fancy Football, and this is United Way on Fancy Football, and I'm here with Roland. Roland, good afternoon, and how are you?
Yeah, good afternoon, Philip. I'm very good. We're just experiencing Christmas season in this part of the world. It seems like Christmas is fast approaching.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, I think we've since United appointed Ruben Amorim as the new Manchester United manager last week, or about 3 weeks or 4 weeks ago. We didn't really see, we didn't have the private chat with regards to that, but we are here now. Let's look at the expectation from Man United, the Almiron expectation or Almiron's Man United expectation. A lot of things have happened over the course of 3 weeks now, and I did love how Ineos really go on about with regards to their business for Almiron. I like it. I like how they went on to get him quietly with speed. Now he's here, he's settling, and we all have expectation of the new manager. So, as a United fan and as a United specialist, and someone that know things about United, what are your expectations about this guy?
First of all, I welcome the appointment by Ineos. That's talking about the current Manchester United manager. We've always talked about Eric Ten Hag and his style of managing the team. We went into conclusion. We felt that Eric Ten Hag is done with his usefulness regarding that team because results were not coming. A lot of persons want to say in his last 2 seasons he won the Carabao Cup and also the FA Cup. That's not what we're talking about. And what stopped Eric Ten Hag from winning the UEFA Champions League, or what stopped him from winning the English Premier League? And the last time Manchester United won that Premier League title was 2013. You can imagine if you give birth to a baby or if you started school by then, you must have finished your secondary and even your university education. So I think the new manager is pretty young. We've seen his antecedents while coaching that Sporting Lisbon coming all the way from Portugal, and it shows that Manchester United and Sporting Lisbon they have a sweet relationship, a wonderful relationship. You can look at players that are transferred from Sporting to Manchester United and the rest of them. So the expectation for that for the manager and for the club is very high. I, for one, I feel we've already had a disruptive and a battered season. So I'm not expecting, from my own point of view, I'm not expecting Manchester United to win any laurels. But what I want to see is I want to see improvement in the style of play. Of course, they are in the Europa League and they are one of the favorites to win that trophy. That trophy. If it comes to Old Trafford, fantastic. But I want to see the best of football being played by Manchester United. I want to see the confidence coming back to the players. I want to see the likes of Garnacho, Amadialo, scoring a lot of goals, and also Rasmus Højlund. I want to see the best of Casemiro. Some persons will say he has played his best football while playing his straight for Real Madrid. But I still think even his former Brazilian teammate that used to play for Manchester City, and that's talking about Fernandinho. And Fernandinho was still 35, 34, and even up to 36, and he was still playing for City. And Pep Guardiola considered him to be an integral part of his team. And he won a lot of laurels for that Manchester City team. So I want to see the best of Manchester United players. I want to stop seeing leaky defense. And if you look at all the European teams this season, um, Sporting Lisbon that was managed by Ruben Amorim, they are the second highest scoring team in Europe major league. And when you talk about the top five league, then you also have the Portuguese league and you have the Netherlands league. They are among the top seven, eight leagues in the world. So Sporting Lisbon has been scoring goal consistently whenever they come up against their biggest rivals. And that's talking about the Porto and the Benfica in the past 2 seasons. And they always come up the very superior team. More times to the coach and tactics, and more times to his players willing to perform at high level. You look at Manchester United players, a lot of them, they are among the highest paid footballers in the English Premier League and also in the world. The likes of Radford, the likes of Casemiro, they are earning a lot of money. And Bruno Fernandes, they are earning a lot of money for that club. But we need to start seeing the result. And I'm also made to understand that Ruben Amorim is also a disciplinarian. Like he loves his players to be disciplined. He wants them to go out and give their best whenever they're on the pitch of play. Just a little talk I want to add. When he joined Manchester United, when they started training while the international break was ongoing, you saw the likes of Rashford and Casemiro posting on social media. For once, I think they were saying top training, good training. I think those things are unnecessary. And also, Rashford has come under fire. I think 2 weeks ago, last week, he was in the United States of America. We went to watch New York Knicks in the NBA. There was no need for that. Man, England no longer calls you. You no longer score goal. You're short of confidence. I think what Rashford should be doing is about training more, seeing how he can get back to the England national team, seeing how he can get back to scoring a lot of goals for Manchester United because he has been in that club or he has started playing professional at a high level since 2015 or 2016, if I'm not mistaken. So Bradford is almost 27 thereabout. So he shouldn't think that he's that young lad of 20 years that just burst onto the scene or 19 years. No, we are here to see a level of consistency, his assist, goal scoring ability. He should be a leader in that team. I'm not just like saying I'm singling out because he has been committed to Manchester United because he's a Mekunian through and through. So you want him to be giving those results. You want him to be giving those performances whenever he's on the pitch of play. So I expect Manchester United to play good, and that good we want to see this weekend against Ipswich Town, the newly promoted team to the English Premier League.
Okay. I look at let's talk formation now. For those that are joining us, this is the United Way on Fancy Football. I am joined with Roland, and we are talking about Almiron's Man United expectation. I think currently now there will be there will be he will have his press conference very soon. Um, I look at his formation, the talk about formation in town, the 3-4-3 formation. When you look at it, and I see that in some areas we lack personnel for that formation. And in some other areas we have the personnel. Like, let's look at the back three in terms of formation. Now, the back three for me, if you say I should choose the back three, I'll go with Euro on the left side, on the right side. If he's fully fit, I'll go with Euro on the right side. Then I'll put the lead at the middle for now. Yes, I think that should be. Then I'll put Lisandro Martinez, who will lead that back line. He will be the leader of that back. Though he's not playing the middle, but he will be the leader of that back because he's more experienced than the three of them in terms of what he has won. He hasn't won the Champions League, but he's a World Cup winner, and he's also a two-time Copa America winner as well. You look at the midfield, that is where my issue is. The midfield are probably the two defensive midfield you want to go with. You look at Ugarte and Kobe Menu. If you want to go with experience, maybe you start with Casemiro. So, and Ugarte. Ugarte has to start in that midfield, whether we like it or not. So one person has to sit, and the other one has to move with the press as well. Then let's look at the wing backs. That is where my issue is now. You want to use Radford on the right, or you want to use Garnacho on the right. You want to use Ahmad on the left. So how would that be? Who are the? We don't even have a number three now as we speak now in Manchester United. We don't have a number three. Up front should be much more easy. Instead, I use an Ahmad and Bruno Fernandes have to start whether we like it or not. He has to start, but he also has to promise us that he will not be losing the ball in key areas as well. Then you use Rasmus Højlund. I think Rasmus Højlund will benefit much more better in this formation. He will score a lot of goals in this formation because the ball because you have two number 10s behind him. They are not really wingers, but they are number 10. So we have two number 10s behind him, in the sense that those two number 10s are creative number 10. So we expect that this should be the formation. But my problem, like I said, is that we lack the personnel for the wing back. So what's your take about it?
Well, if you look at, I think for me, I want to disagree with that. Lenny Euro, he has prospect and he has potential. I just think the Premier League, you need probably. I've only seen little clips or highlight of him. Like I've not wide playing for Lille or the French under 21 national team. I watch him play, and of course, I know Real Madrid was also going for him, but the physicality of the English Premier League, I don't think Lenny Euro will be able to fit in at immediately. So I can always stick with the the Martins delete, and of course the Lisandro Martinez. And you have your right back currently Masrari, who for me I think is one of the best signing under Eric Ten Hag. And to be fair to Eric Ten Hag, and then also I saw him training for always after the Euros, and I think he finished second in Spain in the final. I think that was in July. And so I think that left back we're having position, like you rightly said, we lack, we don't have the personnel. United were also gone in for Ben Chilwell from Chelsea, who seems to have been frozen out of Enzo Maresca team. But I don't think Ben Chilwell is actually who we are looking for. We also we heard story or rumor of a certain guy that plays for Bayern Munich. That's talking about Ben Davies. That's talking about Afonso Davies, sorry, who I also feel is a world-class beater. He's very young, a full-fledged Canadian international. Then, of course, the midfield, like you rightly said, I like Ugarte. For me, I think a midfield that consists of Ugarte and Kobe Mino, because Kobe Mino is the future of that team since he broke out to that team. So I also think Kobe Mino falls among that category of players that should be playing regularly, which he has been doing. He was just injured. That was why that seems like why he has missed Manchester United the last few matches. So I will go for a Kobe Mino and a Ugarte. Of course, it depends on the match you're playing, but most of my matches, it will be Kobe Meno and Ugarte. Kobe Meno will be more forward, while Ugarte will be sitting there to block every attack and what have you. And then you could play some matches where you need experience. That is where you now bring Casemiro. He's a veteran, right? So if you're playing a team like Manchester City and you can't go all out, then you need more people to even play Casemiro and of course Ugarte. Then, of course, Bruno Fernandes, like you already said, he's always going to be in the team. He's the captain of the team. He's the leader. He has his own flaws, but to be fair to him, he seems like the only player that can win us matches, that can put out, that can do something out of nowhere. He's the only player. I can't count on Rashford because he's not in form. He's not in great shape. He rarely scores goals. He's not consistent. So I would prefer a Garnacho and, of course, Amad Diallo. You watched the last game against Leicester City, and you saw how effective Diallo was when he came in. You saw how effective he was when also scoring. In fact, when we were up against Chelsea a previous week against Leicester, you noticed under Mr. Roy, when Garnacho was almost close on scoring goal, and of course, Newport was neither here nor there. Then, of course, Soyland will definitely be my first choice. The new guy that was signed from Plantas that I'm about to say, I don't know the kind of player he is. I want to believe he's going to adapt to that team. Last time, few seasons, okay, last season in few matches, I watched Bologna. I know they finished fourth in Italian Serie A. He was their key player. In fact, he was the young best player in the Serie A last season before his fellow countryman brought him over to England to Manchester United. But since he came to Manchester United, he had not been consistent. He had just scored one goal. That was the winning goal at match day one against the Wolverhampton Wanderers, right, at Old Trafford. So since then, he has not been. He has not gotten in shape. He has not been on his groove. I don't know if.
Hello, Roland. Can you hear me? Hello, Roland. Can you hear me? Hello, Roland. Can you hear me? Okay, we have lost Roland there. Okay. We hope that Roland join us. But we're still on the Almaron Man United expectations. I think he's hitting up, and Roland is hitting the nail on the head as usual. And we hope that at the end of the day, we see something in the limelight. So we see something at the end of the day. Okay, so Roland is joining us back. So let's go back to it again once more. So Roland is joining us back, and let's see. Okay, sorry, we lost you there. Okay, you've just cemented the formation in the right way, and we hope that at the end of the day, let's see what will happen. Okay, finally, we just let's some piece of good news coming from the EPL, the Premier League, in the sense that the Premier League has now voted 16-4 in favor of the new associate third party rule, which Man City went to court for, thinking that they will win. They will win at the end of the day. And they voted 16 to amend that rule. So, what's your take about that third party rule? And were you actually in favor of it, or were you against it?
Well, they say minority. Minority. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Go ahead.
They say a minority will always have their say and a majority will have their way, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm with the majority, right? Manchester United also voted in favor of it, and that's the 16th. So, and the top clubs, right, voted in favor of the new third party rule. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hello?
Go ahead, Roland. I
Can you
can
hear
hear you.
me?
Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead. Go
Okay,
ahead.
I think you know that rule. We just want football to be easy for fans. We want rules that governs this game to be very easy. In fact, for one, I also felt there were too many rules. Yeah, good beautiful game. We want the VRO. When I looked at it, the controversy it has brought, a lot of persons still feel the VR shouldn't be there. A lot of persons we've now adapted to using VR. That's major competition, the Heroes, the World Cup, the Olympics, and the English Premier League, the major leagues across the world. Yeah, a lot of persons kicked against it when it was introduced, but so far so good. I think now we are gradually getting used to it and seeing the effect of the VRO and also all that. We just want to enjoy the English Premier League. We want to enjoy football, and we don't need them controversies. Because most of these rules that always comes up with controversies. We've seen penalty controversies over the years, over time, how a lot of clubs has kicked against, and so I think by the end of the day, it's actually a welcome development if it means enhancing the beautiful game. I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
Yes, yes,
So I said,
yes, yes.
sorry. I think City will not be really, they will not be really be happy with it, since it has come to, it's affecting them. But this is football, and we need a little bit of control in terms of what is being spent in. Because if you allow clubs to spend money, we all know what happened to Leeds United, Bolton Wanderers. A lot of clubs went down the drain because of decisions like this. But thank God we have something like this, and thank God the likes of Man United, Arsenal, Liverpool understand that there should be proper control of this one. I know it won't happen again for you. You see a club like Leicester City winning the Premier League, but you want to see that happening. You want to still see it happening in the future. But this is our game, and we love it, and we need control with regards to it. Okay, thank you so much, Roland Alabo, sport analyst and a Manchester United fan as well, and a Manchester United insider in and out. Thank you so much for being part of the show, and we'll see you next week when we come on air again with.
The Premier League officially resumes tomorrow. We want to see the best of football being played. Of course, one of the big ones, or the big one, to be Manchester City hosting. You have the likes of Liverpool, Southampton, and Manchester United against will also be another interesting one. Then Chelsea will be up against Leicester City. So it's glad that I'm excited. Whenever the weekend comes, that the English Premier League, all throughout last weekend was boring because of the international. I'm not a fan of international football. Maybe I'm only a fan when it's World Cup season or the African Cup of Nations, not when a high level Premier League football is going on. Then you're having breaks and breaks, then players come back fatigued and injured.
Okay, yeah. I think we know that it has been going on for years like this, but we have to manage it, and that's what it is. So thank you very much for being part of the show. Kindly subscribe to Fancy Football, hit the notification bell, and hit the like button as well. We'll see you next week when we come live on the United Way. So we also have the interview on on our channel as well. So go there and watch the Almaron's first interview. We'll see you, Roland, and thank you for being part of the show.
Yeah,